the Portland City Council voted against an amendment proposed by Councilor Angelita Murillo to cut $4.3 million from Portland's impact reduction program. The city initiative cleans and removes homeless encampments when they present ADA violations, have visible drug paraphernalia, violence, criminal activity, or are in close proximity to schools and playgrounds. Murillo's amendment would transfer $1.5 million to rent assistance, food aid, and aid for the rising illegal immigrant population in the city. Portland Mayor Keith Wilson released a public letter coming out against the proposal and encouraging people to sign up to testify against stopping the sweeps.
We see unhoused people continue to set up tents again and again, week after week, near Couch Park. If there is less money in the impact reduction program, does that mean that tents will stay up longer in Couch Park?
The Friends of Couch Park group formed in 2023 when a man with a machete threatened people in the park.
He's walking towards us, towards the fence kind of, and he has the machete in his hand and he just says, "Get out of my park," and just kind of waves it.
And a line of tents were set up where open drug use was rampant. The park is also next to a school.
It is unacceptable to allow people to camp next to a school. It is reasonable for the city to remove campsites next to a school. Like the unhoused population, children are also a vulnerable population and they deserve protection.
Now with the tents and the garbage and the feces that they give rise to, the sidewalks are often impassable.
Sheila and her husband, who is a disabled veteran, are in their 80s. They bought their condo in Old Town in 2002 with the idea that when they eventually got too old to drive, they could easily walk to grocery stores, doctor's offices, entertainment, and have easy access to public transportation.
And because of the blocked sidewalks, we are often forced to walk in traffic lanes. Old people dodging cars is not a game we ever wanted to play.
Sheila went on to say how unchecked homeless encampments have been affecting businesses.
Lansu Chinese Gardens and the Japanese American Museum of Oregon have lost an enormous amount of business because there is no parking available, with the tents and garbage filling the sidewalks right up to the curb. Because of this, many businesses have had to close, and it is now an employment desert.
She also noted Murillo's amendment openly states the budget cuts would lead to the loss of 100 jobs. John Collins testified he was homeless for over a year with a tent under Morrison Bridge. The sweeps helped him get his life back.
You would think that being homeless previous, I would be against sweeps. But if you're just doing the sweeps and not having the wraparound services to back it up, then I'm against it. But if you're having those services to support that, I'm all for it.
Collins now holds a full-time job, is going to school to get his CDL license, and spends his free time approaching people on the streets, encouraging them to accept shelter.
If we were sweeping the camps and there wasn't somewhere to put them, I would say that's not right. But there are beds every day, an ample amount, and these places are safe. They're their own motel rooms, your own tiny home pod village. I say let's get out there and liberate these people from an oppressive lifestyle.
In 2024, city data shows over 8,000 campsites were removed. More than 6,000 tons of garbage was collected, and this includes picking up trash littered by homeless encampments, as well as needles and other hazardous material found in public parks and along city streets. Last year alone, the job cost the city nearly $13 million. While a large majority of testimony from Portland residents was in favor of removing homeless encampments, not everyone agreed with the sweeps and the new camping ban put in place by Mayor Wilson.
I really love living on the streets. I also love people that do drugs on the streets. Kids, you know what? If there were past lives, what if kids were druggies back in the day? People will always be on drugs, and they are the shamans of our times.
You, Keith Wilson. I know your privilege and your supremacy keep you from feeling shame, but rest assured you will only be remembered, if at all, for your stupidity, short-sightedness, and twisted heart.
Keely Higgins continued her nearly 5-minute profanity-filled rant during public comment with a threat against the Portland mayor.
I know this testimony won't change your policy, Keith, but you need to know that we see you, and there will be no peace without justice. And finally, guys, the PBB, free Palestine.
The council president condemned Higgins' expletive-filled testimony and asked for professionalism.
I understand the heated emotions. I think it's important to say hard things in this space, and it's important to call out actions that are hard to see, but we need to do so acknowledging that oftentimes children are watching.
From Portland, Oregon, I'm Amy DeLaura for Washington Examiner.